Arakan Army, where did it get its arms and the support from the Chinese, from the Americans? Now, I'm talking about currently. Which way do they lean? Do they lean Chinese? Do they lean American? Because those are the two superpowers now in this area. One wanting control and one already in control. Or influence, if not control.
Yes, that is where I want to again go back a little in time and tell you about the Arakan Army itself.
Huh.
Like I said a few moments ago, it was raised in 2009.
Huh.
Nowhere in any literature have I seen this, but it is my assumption that it was raised, and it was raised in Kachin, which is the other extreme of Myanmar, is the northeast extreme of Myanmar. It was raised, helped by the KIA, Kachin Independent Army, which has huge connections with the Chinese. So that is where this got raised. And thereafter, it kept fighting there. The Arakan Army kept fighting there. They have come to Rakhine only in 2018. So between 2009 and 18, my guess is they were being trained for a purpose. And that purpose, as I understand, is to offset our Kaladan multimodal project. Because our Kaladan multimodal project got signed.
By China, you mean?
By China.
Huh.
By China. Our Kaladan multimodal project got signed. The deal got signed in 2008. A year later, Arakan Army gets raised. 2009 again, the same year, the oil and gas pipeline, that agreement gets signed between China and Myanmar. So China is now looking towards Bay of Bengal, and Kaladan, of course, Sitwe is the port. Chowkphu port is part of the oil and gas pipeline. So this agreement was signed in 2009, and it became commercial in 2013. Got commissioned in 2013.
So while we were building our pipeline, this was happening.
Yeah, this
on
deal
the Belt and Road.
got signed a year later, and then the BRI, of course, came much later. But this got included as part of the BRI. So they didn't want anyone else here. That, to my understanding, is the reason why Arakan Army got raised. So while it has shifted here, it has taken control of Rakhine, but it still has connections with the Chinese, given that this was one of the it was part of that Three Brotherhood alliance, which you know of.
Yeah, let's come to that in a bit about the Three Brotherhood. But first, so this is the Belt and Road Initiative and the oil pipeline from Kunming. That road is to go all the way to the border. This is what they want, the port. It wants that port
a deep
control.
sea port.
A deep sea port. So it wants that deep sea port, and that's how they plan through Myanmar. But for that, they needed the Arakan Army to cooperate.
That's someone they needed to cooperate.
Not just the Chins.
Yeah, not just the Chins. No, Chins are a little to the north, but they wanted somebody, because given that it's so far away from China. At the place where this oil and gas pipeline starts, you have the Kokang region and the Wa independent state, which are totally under the control of the Chinese. So they have no problem there. But at the other extreme, they didn't have anyone. This is my hypothesis. That is why probably the Arakan Army got raised. Though the call for Arakan sovereignty or an independent Arakan it goes back in time.
Okay. So now tell me, why is the Americans interested in this now, and this whole humanitarian corridor or whatever that they were planning, UN assisted? What is their interest in this region now?
The American interest primarily lies from the fact that today the major player here is China in Myanmar, and the major project of China which is coming is here. This deep sea port which we just spoke of is worth 7.3 billion. Then the oil and gas pipeline, it's again 2.7 billion. Together it's worth 10 billion. Then if you see the other special economic zone that has to come out, part of the China-Myanmar economic corridor, that's again worth almost 2.83 billion. So these are the major projects. Besides,
so it's
there's
not
so
as
many
if their
projects.
heart is bleeding for the Rohingyas.
No, not at all.
It's not just for that they are there.
They want a foothold here.
Who, the Americans?
The Americans want, because once this port or this oil and gas pipeline gets fully commercialized, which it has not. Today it is operating just at 10% or 12% of its capacity. And it is only catering for 2% of the energy needs of China. Why they want this is so that the Malacca dilemma which is there, the ships have to come through the Malacca Straits. That is another 3,000 kilometers for them. So if all the energy needs which come from the Middle East, if they can be pumped from here, it saves that much of time for them. It also helps the development of Yunnan, which is a relatively undeveloped
So this
region.
is China's needs. I'm
China's
talking
need.
about the American needs. So America wants to stop this.
America
aid,
wants to stop this growth of this
Of
CMEC,
China. Okay.
CMEC here. That's why they want a foothold here. From nowhere else can they get into Myanmar.
Okay.
Given that there are other countries, this is the only area from where they can get in.
Do subscribe to the ANI Clips channel to get shorter versions of this podcast. Click here to watch the full episode.